Time to get heavy. Hi there, Perfecto Castro here and welcome to my channel. I hope you're having a great day. Last month, TC Electronic officially stepped into the amp modeling world with the introduction of the Ampworx Vintage series. And the natural progression is, of course, to release a set of pedals to satisfy the high-gain crowd. And just like the Vintage series, the Ampworx high-gain series has three of the most iconic high-gain tones available. The JIMS 800 is patterned after the Marshall JCM 800. The Dual Rec is patterned after the Mesa Boogie Dual Rectifier. And the 550 is, of course, the EVH 5150. Thank you TC Electronic for sponsoring this video and for sending me the Ampworx High Gain series to show off to all you guys. For more info and to buy any one or all of the Ampworx High Gain series pedals, I will have affiliate links in the video description. So please check it out, use them, and help the channel out. Okay, jam time. Here are the Ampworx pedals in a track I wrote inspired by their tones. Enjoy. Now, before we go into the knob tweaking session, let me give you the details of my setup right here. I'll be using my Shabbat Lion Floyd Rose. Very nice guitar, and I've been enjoying it very much. And from there, I will plug into any one of the Ampworx high gain pedals, and that will serve as my virtual amp. Then the signal goes out of the CabSim DI output into a TC Electronic Plethora X3. Now, I believe that this setup right here is the ultimate two-pedal pedal board setup that is ready to take on any gig that will come your way. Now, my setup right here going out of the Ampworx DI out works great for silent stage gigs and for recording just like this. And if you need to play a gig where you can use a real amp, just move the cable from the CabSim DI out to the regular out and plug the entire rig's output into the effects return of whatever amp you're going to use and rock out. Very quick turnover, no complicated pedal board rebuilds, no fuss, very simple and straight to the point. Okay, now back to my setup. I am going stereo out of the Plethora X3 into my PreSonus Quantum 2626 interface, recording into Studio One and straight into your ear holes. So make sure that you listen through a nice set of headphones, earbuds, or speakers, but not on your phone. You don't get the whole picture on your phone. Okay, so let's start with the Dual Rec, which I have right here. I have the green channel set up squeaky clean. And it sounds especially nice once you kick the Plethora X3 in. Now, amongst the Ampworx high gain, I think the dual rec gets the cleanest clean channel. And it's very reminiscent of the actual dual rectifier amplifier. Now, let's explore the gain. So let's turn it up. Now you can get more gain out of this channel by kicking in the boost set to pre. Now, also common amongst all the Ampworx high gain pedals is the way the boost works. So set to pre, it takes on a mid-heavy tube screamer style character. And set to post, it is an overall volume boost. Now, given the high gain nature of these pedals, I prefer using the pre-boost. That way I have a drastically different tone every time I kick it in. Now let's check out the red channel. Now, the dual rectifier tone that I know is from when it first came out. You know, nice, big, and beefy with a lot of chunk. Which is why I have the tight control all the way down, because I am after that sound. Now, if you want something tighter, you can always turn it up. I think we need more gain. Hold on. But like I said, I like the 90s dual rectifier tone. So I will bring it all the way, almost all the way down and lessen the gain. And I have this nice wide wall of sound tone. Now, another reason why I like a wide open tight control on the dual rec is that I can always tighten it up using the pre-boost. And I like that I get two different tones with and without the boost. Now let's give this a little more space. And the dual rec red channel also cleans up nicely with your volume knob. Okay, now we have the JIMS 800, and the best compliment that I can give it is that it behaves pretty much just like a good Marshall. The best starting point for tweaking the JIMS 800 is with all the knobs all the way up and subtract from there. Now, let me show you what I mean. I'm gonna turn all the knobs to noon, and this is what we get. Which is not bad, but it is a little on the dull side. Now, let's start with all the EQ knobs all the way up. Okay, now we're talking. In fact, I'd even bump the gain up just a little bit more to give it a little more body. Now doing this makes it a lot more touch sensitive. So you can hit it as hard as you want and make it bark. Or soften your attack a little bit and get some cleaner tones. Let's put some ambience in. Now, unlike the other Ampworx pedals, you can actually vary the amount of boost you get with the JIMS 800. So, Now let's check out the red channel. So you get all that gain even without the boost. So now you can use the boost in a more tasteful manner. So instead of adding more gain, you can use it to tighten up and shape the low end. Now, even though it has a lot of gain, the JIMS 800 is probably the least gainiest of the Ampworx high gain offerings. So I have to turn the gain all the way up and engage the boost to get those liquid leads. And that tells me that the JIMS 800 will take a nice boost in front of it, like a rat, so you get those nuno tones. Okay, now we have the 550, which again is patterned after the 5150. And in the Ampworx High Gain series, the 550 has the most insane amount of gain amongst all the pedals. Check this out. This is the green channel, all knobs at noon. Now my particular 550 pedal also has a slightly lower output than the other, so I need to bump this up to around 6. And I've also tried to get a clean tone out of it, and it's not going to give it to you. That's clean enough, but it doesn't have enough character for me to cut through the mix. It actually comes alive as soon as the gain knob goes to around 4. But it's not exactly clean. However, with some modulation and delay from the PLETHORA X3, flanger. It gets a nice pushed clean or hairy clean tone. But that's not what the 550 is about. It's about gain and a lot of it. So let's turn it past maybe 7. This is more than enough for me. Okay, we can dial in some low-end funk with the resonance, so maybe put that at 6. I like lowering the bass or the low EQ if I turn up the resonance to even things out. So you get the air but not the flub. Maybe a little more highs. Pre-boost. Now I'm perfectly happy with the green channel, the way it's set up right now, so let's leave it at that. And then let's check out the red channel, which is like even more over the top. I forgot to mention that every time you move a knob on the Ampworx, both the vintage and high gain series, it remembers what your previous settings are for that channel. So it's like an auto save. Now, when I go to the next channel red, this is how I set it up previously before I tweaked it for the green channel. So it is pretty much a set and forget type of pedal. However, if you want to tweak your old settings, it doesn't really tell you where the knobs were pointed at previously. So you're gonna have to hunt. So you can go from gain to more gain. See, this much gain is with the knob at around 1 o'clock, you know, before 7. So it just gets more at when you turn it all the way up. I don't know how you can use that much gain. It just feels all compressed and squishy. And yeah, so I like dialing it back down to like 5 or 6. That's more than enough. And that is still without the boost. So if you want even more gain, so you can do that. Now, I don't want to say this, but I think the red channel benefits from a more conservative setting. So gain at around 6. Resonance higher, and EQ as such. That way, it's a more natural progression from the green into the red channel. Okay, now personally, the Ampworx High Gain series is right in my wheelhouse, and I like what each individual pedal has to offer. Now for me personally, the one that fits me the most is the JIMS 800, mostly because I am a pretty much a Marshall guy. Now, if I could mix and match channels from these pedals into just one pedal, then I think I would go with a dual rec green channel and the 550 green channel. That way I have a nice clean sound and a very usable and flexible drive sound. And I can use the boost function to color these channels to pretty much any shade of overdrive and dirt I want. Now, also part of my wish they did it list is the location of the presence control. Across all three pedals, the presence knob is at the top of the pedal as a mini potentiometer right beside the pre and post switch. I would have preferred that to be a readily tweakable knob on the face of the pedal as opposed to a set and forget mini potentiometer. Especially on the JIMS 800, where I would have preferred to tweak the presence individually on each channel as opposed to having it as a set and forget mini pot. So swapping the boost control with the presence would have been a better layout. Now I will say for the most part that I kept the presence pretty much at noon for the dual rec and the JIMS 800. However, for the 550, with the abundance of low end from the resonance control and just the overall voicing of the pedal, I had to bump the presence up to around 2 o'clock. Now, before I end this video, I do have a final thought about the TC Electronic Ampworx pedals, both the high gain and vintage series. So there's a lot of questions in YouTube comments asking if this is worth it, if this is better than this or better than that, and so on and so forth. So I'd like to throw my 2 cents in. Now, being in the golden era of guitar gear, there are a ton of other options out there that have these amp flavors in their pedals, either as individual pedals or as part of a single package. And there's always the price to tone difference. On the higher end, you get the UA stuff, the Walrus Audio stuff, Strymon, and on the budget end, you get the Chinese amp in a box type pedals. Now, the way TC Electronic has positioned themselves is right in between those two extremes. So for around $150, you get a very nice representation of that modeled amp with all the features you'll need, so it fits and integrates easily and quickly into your current pedal board setup. Unlike the typical budget amp in the box pedals, Ampworx already gives you 2 channels, a pre or post boost function, a regular output, and a very, very nice sounding cab sim output. Now, these features are standard on the higher end amp modelers, but TC Electronic Ampworx gives them to you at pretty much half the price the nearest competition. And this is part of the previous video, but I just have to say that the Combo Deluxe Spring Reverb is the most realistic spring reverb I've ever heard in a pedal. Okay, there you have it. That is the TC Electronic Ampworx High Gain series. Again, big thanks to TC Electronic for sponsoring this video and for giving me free reign in presenting these pedals to all you guys. And of course, if you want to grab one, two, or all of the TC Ampworx pedals, I will have my affiliate links in the video description below. So please use it well, use it often. It helps out the channel a lot. And since you made it this far, please give this video a thumbs up, like, hit subscribe if you haven't yet, and don't forget to ring that bell. And let me know what you think of the Ampworx High Gain pedals in the comment section. Which one would you shred? Click on the end card to go watch another video, then go grab your guitar and play something. You all know the drill. Practice makes perfecto. Cheers, guys.